Hello YouTube. In this video I'm going to show you how to get VirtualBox, how to install it, and how to set up virtual machines to use on your computer if your computer is VM capable. First thing you're going to have to do is go download the software, and it's called Oracle Vm Virtualbox. I will have links in the video description to directly get to the web page and for direct downloads. But if you go to the web page, you'll make sure you go to the download section, and as you can see, they have VirtualBox for Solaris, Linux, OS X, and Windows. It works great on absolutely every one of those operating systems. I'm going to be running it on Windows, so I need version 4.3.2 for Windows hosts. And it's going to bring up the save box. Just hit save. I'm also going to need the Oracle VirtualBox extension pack, which gives you support for USB 2.0 devices, remote desktop, PXE boot, and other things. So click on that, hit save. And then for more information on how to use VirtualBox, the different add-ons, the things that it'll do, the kind of machines you can run, how to configure the machines. If you want to go into more detail, all you have to do is click on the user manual here. It'll pull it up as a PDF. And all you have to do is come over here to where you see this little disk. And if you're up here, it'll disappear, drop down in the corner. See that little floppy disk looking icon? Click that and hit save. Okay, now we're going to close the web browser. Go to your Explorer, Windows Explorer. I have an icon down here. Most of you are going to have to click Start. Go to All Programs, Accessories, and then you'll find Windows Explorer right there. And then you just double click on VirtualBox. It's going to pop up the Open File Security warning. Hit Run. When it finally pops up the setup box on the installer, hit Next. Come up here to the VirtualBox application. Click on the down arrow. Entire features will be installed on local hard drives. Click on that. Click Next. Make sure Create Desktop Shortcut is selected, and I don't want the shortcut in the Quick Launch bar. You can have that if you want. It'll be down here, but I don't want it, so I'm going to just leave it like that and hit Next. And then it says Warning, Network Interfaces. Installing Oracle VirtualBox 4.3.2. Networking feature will reset your network connection and temporarily disconnect you from the network. You want to proceed with the installation now. If you got a download going, you're probably going to wait until it finishes, because there is a very high probability that it will kick you off. If not, just hit yes. And then on the next one, click Install. Bear in mind, it may take a few minutes before it actually goes ahead and starts moving. This actually is a fairly decent sized program. It's a little over 100 meg. Okay, and the user account control pops up. Just click yes. Okay, and then there's the Windows security. Would you like to install this device? It's going to install the network adapter, so that way you can actually connect up to the internet with your virtual machines with VirtualBox. You do want to install this, so click the install button. And then there's the network service. Click install on that one. There's the network adapters. Install that one. And all that install special drivers, so it'll use NAT redirect. There's the more network adapters. It'll use NAT redirect to be able to connect up to the internet, so all your machines have internet connection and network connectability to that one system and one IP address. I'm going to deselect Start Oracle VM. I don't want it to install, and you don't either right now, because you're still going to want to be able to install the extension pack. So once it's finished installing, just double click on the extension pack that now turned into an icon. And whenever it pops up the VirtualBox question dialog box, just hit install. Scroll it all the way to the bottom, click I agree. User account control will pop up, hit yes, and it'll install the extension pack. Trust me, you absolutely want the extension pack. Okay, the extension pack was installed successfully. Click OK. That right there is actually VirtualBox. We're going to go ahead and close that for the moment. Close that. Okay, now we're going to open up VirtualBox fresh. Now to create a new computer in VirtualBox, you're going to click on new right here. And for this one, we're going to create a Windows 8 machine. Next. I'd really rather it had at least 4 gig. This one right here, the memory size allows you to dedicate how much RAM is actually going to be dedicated to that virtual machine. I'm going to dedicate 4 gig to it. So once you set the RAM, hit next. And then you can tell it to create the virtual hard drive to use with the machine. So we're going to create a virtual hard drive. And then you have VMDK, VDI, VHD, HDD, QED, and QCOW. Okay, the VDI virtual disk image, VMDK, which is a very commonly used one, is a virtual machine disk. VHD is a virtual hard disk. Parallels hard disk is the HDD. QEMU is an enhanced disk, and the QEMU copy one write is the QCOW and QED. So we're going to do a virtual machine disk. Hit next. And I want it to dynamically allocate, so that way it'll fill itself up bigger as it needs, but it'll stay small as long as there's not a whole lot installed. So I'm going to click next. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the 25 gig. I really don't need a bigger drive. And then I'm going to click create. And we now have a Windows 8 machine. Now you have the machine, but the actual main detailed configuration is not really done on it. So hit settings. Now we're going to go to hit advanced. You see the shared clipboard disabled. You can set that to where you can actually share the clipboard between the host to the guest, or back and forth bidirectional, so that way anytime you copy anything, you can paste it in either machine that's running. Then you go to the main system. You have the boot order, the chipset, which for the most part, whatever it defaults to, you probably want to leave at. Pointing device, and then you have the EFI, which is in special OSs only. Hardware clock set to UTC time, I wouldn't do that. Processor, if you have a multi-core processor, you can actually set the number of cores that's dedicated to that system. But you can set the number of CPUs right there. Then you come down here to the display. You can set the amount of video RAM and how many monitors can be used on it. And then you can also enable or disable the 3D acceleration and 2D video acceleration. I'm going to go ahead and leave it on the 128 meg. I really don't need to dedicate more video RAM to it than that. And then storage, I'm not going to set it up with any extras. see, audio, Windows Direct Intel Network. There's your NAT adapters, serial ports, USB, and then shared folder. So at this particular point, I'm going to add a new CD device, choose disk. And whenever you get ready, if you actually have a Windows 8 disk image, it'll select just like the CD. Select that image and hit open, and it'll put that image in there, so that way whenever you boot the system up, it'll automatically boot the install disk to start the Windows install. When you power up the machine, you'll get a separate window, but whenever you start it, it'll automatically boot and it'll start that disk. And that's generally how you set up a virtual machine, how to use it, and that'll get you started on installing Windows and playing around with virtual machines, so you can actually use the capabilities of your system to run multiple systems within one. This information is out there for absolutely everybody, and as always, watch, like, and share, and have a great day.